Hey everybody, thank y'all for showing up here. This is Elite BBQ Smokers and Holt Brothers BBQ. This is Barbecue Roundtable Talk today. We got some amazing people that's got some good stories. We're gonna let them start introducing themselves and start sharing the stories they've got. And it's something that you definitely want to stick around and watch. So all of that being stated, Mr. Waylon, since you front and center, let you introduce yourself and your team name and stuff.
Yeah, Waylon Weatherford out of Winder, Georgia. Our team name is Zips Barbecue.
All right, Mr. Mo.
Mo Morris Gray, Hog Mafia. Kenny and I, we've cooked together for a couple of years now, Kenny.
Yeah.
And we've done some good stuff.
Just a little bit.
Just a little monster.
Just a little bit. Mr. Kenny.
Kenny O'Shields, Hog Mafia, and slash One-Eyed Pig.
Yeah.
Yep. Union, South Carolina.
So Waylon, you from Georgia. Mo and Kenny and myself is from South Carolina, and Justin's over here in North Carolina.
All right.
We got it.
Hello, Mr. Aaron. Thank you for stopping by. Mr. Tilly, appreciate it, man. That's awesome here. All right, so we're going to start off right here. Waylon, I'm going to start you first here. Before we get into the accomplishments you got and everything here, tell us a little bit of story of how you got into barbecue, how you got into cooking.
Be honest, I started a little bit later than most folks. Our family didn't really grill out a lot or anything, Jason, and I started, just messing around at home with a little cheap cooker 10 or 15 years ago. And then, I don't know, 2015 or 2016, finally, I saw Barbecue Pitmasters on TV. And I'm sure that's a familiar story with a lot of folks, right? And didn't really know anything like that existed. And a tailgate buddy of mine that would go to all the Georgia games. We decided we'd start our own team. So we cooked, I don't know, maybe one backyard event in 2016 that was non-sanctioned. And then 2017 and 18 probably cooked, 3 to 5 contests in backyard. Was lucky to, win a couple of grands in backyard. And cooked the 2019 series in backyard in the GBC when we found out about it.
Cool.
We were able to win the backyard series that year, so I figured it was time to go pro at that point. And COVID hit in 2020, that kind of slowed us down. So I've really been cooking pro the last 2021 and 22. So about 2 years.
About 2 years cooking pro on there.
Yeah.
How hard it was to go from the backyard flavor profiles, or was there a difference between the backyard and the pro flavor profiles or techniques or anything?
I wouldn't think so. I was cooking a bit of Heath Riles recipe and ribs and hitting it every time in backyard. And when I started cooking pro, didn't really change anything, and it wasn't hitting. So I did change that up some, which I thought was kind of odd. But
yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the techniques changed that much. I mean, I've switched over the years from a gravity feed when I was cooking in backyard, and I progressed to, drums in the last year. But I didn't think the techniques changed that much. There's a lot of good cookers in backyard, in Georgia and Alabama and other states. Obviously, Tom Tilley's a big, just comment is a good example of that. Lincoln Andrews, Scott, my buddy Scott Parr started out. We all started out in backyard. There's a lot of good cooks. So.
There is. When I started out, I think there was backyard, but I didn't know nothing about backyard. But there wasn't really no backyard contest in the area.
Yeah.
But so we didn't have that opportunity. But we loved it. I mean, we got into it and started enjoying it and started just loving traveling around and meeting people. I mean, the fellowship, we've said this many times, it's insane. The relationships we have with just barbecue in general and the family and people we meet here, that just makes it where you just want to keep going and meeting them.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we all ask a question. We just need to go camp out of campground.
If you just sit there and watch Pitmasters, you would think everybody trash talked each other, but it's totally different when you get
Oh yeah.
Just a big brotherhood. So
it is. I think, especially in the Southeast where we focus at, I do think there's probably a little bit of a pin and needle type nagging, but it's nothing to be of anything more than just laughing and having on, because it's the craziest thing in the world. I mean, somebody else wins, you won this weekend, and I come up to you and I was like, congratulations, man, that was amazing. I was very happy for you. Did I want to win the contest? Absolutely. But I didn't do it, and you won it, and I was like, man, that is amazing. I think you got a fan on here, Waylon.
That's my beautiful daughter there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Touching on what you were saying, Jason, it was just, it's a big family.
It is a huge family. I mean, it's until people come out here and start getting involved in this, competing it. And I wouldn't necessarily say competed on a week basis. The points chasers is one thing, but I'm just saying just the fellowship we have, getting together and cook out. Because when I started cooking, it was actually at the hunting club. Now all of us get together Wednesday night, we cook steaks, potatoes, or whatever, and that was a fellowship we had. And I said, somebody asked me the other day, said, why do you keep doing this? I said, because of the fact is that very few times I'm gonna cook food, somebody will be upset about it. I mean, I deal with enough stress at work. I don't need to have.
What a great way to look at it. That's great.
And that's the thing about it, is always smiles. And when we compete, it's even more smiles. And we compete and helping a new team move up the ranks and do better. It's even better. And that's what I truly love about it. And I mean, last night on Brian's show, Atlanta Barbecue show here, Chris was saying the same thing with his classes. He loves to see people do better and use the information to come out there and be successful, because we want to do it. I mean, I haven't had a class. I wouldn't say I was to the level to do a class. But I mean, I was at Rocky Mountain the other day, and the guys were building a box. And I told him, I said, piece of advice on a brisket box. You putting that green down, that very back row, make it a little bit puffy. That way you lay the brisket in there, it gives you like a little pillow to lay on. That way you lay them all forward, they're all uniform. And just little things like that everybody just picks up on, and little things shares, it makes a big difference on there. But that's cool. Mo, tell us how you got started in barbecue and cooking.
Well, I live on a small street, a little cul-de-sac, 8 houses. Well, there was 22 kids in these 8 houses. And ours was the house with the biggest backyard, and started out with hamburgers and hot dogs. And then all the adults, we started hanging together. And then next thing I know, it's going up. I got a little WSM and started cooking, smoking. And somebody said, well, you do pretty good at this. Why don't you start barbecuing?
Oh,
well,
Lord.
what the heck? So it's from a little backyard barbecue. First thing I entered was the SCBA in Malden. And did all right. I mean, I think I finished in the top 15, maybe. And just started from there. Then eventually it just got worse and worse. It's just the crack cocaine of the food industry.
Multiple tens of thousands of dollars later.
Yes.
Right.
Worst thing that can happen is you hear your name get called, and then that's $10,000 right there.
That's an expensive call. My first one.
Oh, yeah. You start thinking you're somebody, then you find out there's somebody else.
Yeah. Definitely true.
Yep.
I was looking back on the barbecue data the other day, and I think between that and the SCBA, I've probably knocking on around about 200 contests I've competed in over the years.
Wow.
That's just insane.
You've got 10 years in, haven't you?
12.
12 years. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. And a lot of differences with the YouTube videos and the barbecue league and that kind of stuff. The people like us and even Waylon starting in pro 2021, you kind of got a little jump start. When you started, Jason, it was, what could you get off of somebody or learn the hard knock,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So when I started in SCBA, and y'all have done SCBA. I don't know, Waylon, if you have or not, but SCBA is pork. And that's basically all they cook. His contest is pork. And the pork boxes in SCBA would it's a work of art with pork, straight up. But whenever I was doing it, it was so top secret. Nobody would show you the box. I mean,
It's still that way.
Yes, feel that way. Yes.
Yeah, I might have seen 4 boxes the whole SCBA career of me.
I mean, and that's the thing about it is everybody was just like, it was just such a kept secret. I remember one team, somebody Facebook was just getting out there, and somebody posted a picture of his box on Facebook, and he went ballistic. He did. It was kind of humorous, and over the years we just enjoyed it. It was cooking all over, meet some great people, and then we just decided to go do Greenwood one year, and
Yeah.
that's been we got a call, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is over with, and we've traveled a lot of places, getting ready to go to Arkansas this weekend. So nuts, just nuts.
Now half the teams post their boxes on Facebook, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Not SCBA guys. I haven't seen the SCBA box posted on Facebook. The KCBS guys do.
And it's mostly asking, why did I get a low appearance score on this box? I don't ever learn nothing from it. But.
Right.
But you're right. I mean,
they just started posting ribs, and there ain't nothing much you can do different with ribs.
I don't know what you're going to do different in ribs.
but you're right. I mean, people are posting pictures of boxes and doing that, and I think part of that comes is the sponsorship side of it, because sponsorship side of it, they're not so much focused on being a super successful team. Yes, they want those, but what they want is the engaging team, the people on social media and stuff here that's engaging and kind of helping other people out and stuff, and that makes a big difference in the whole world of barbecue with the social media stuff. So us getting out there and showing pictures and stuff here, I mean, perfect example is the desserts. I mean, desserts down at Banjo BBQ was just crazy.
No, there were some pretty desserts at Jack.
Oh, the Jack and the American Royal. Man, I've seen a picture of American Royal. I think it was Nathan Dexter, Gray Street. They tried to put their picture of that dessert.
Lord.
It had a chocolate crown.
Yeah, his wife. She's the queen of desserts, man, and cheesecakes. If you follow them on Facebook, it's just like, oh my Lord, like what have you created? That looks so. I mean, it's like out of a cookbook, you know.
Yeah, I think they posted a picture today. Said maybe this cream cheese will last us a weekend.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Kenny, how'd you get into barbecue?
Well, I've always been around it. I started out in a hash and barbecue house. Just my best friend's family would cook on special occasions, 4th of July, Labor Day, Christmas, and just sell it. The public would come 4 o'clock in the morning, it seemed like, lined up. And mostly all I done was throw coals under whole hogs or whole hams or something like that. But it just kind of got in my blood, and always did it for family. And my sister's wedding kind of got me back going again. And then wanted to try the barbecue competition thing. I got lucky. A friend of mine here in Union, his name's Tubo. I don't know if y'all ever, Jason, you might have run into him in the barbecue world years ago, but he was going up to Franklin helping with that tournament. And so I went up to Franklin, and he put me with Andrew and BB Massey. And I asked him, could I hang out with them for the day? So I didn't know them, and I didn't know, nothing. But they brought me in, and I stayed in the trailer, and I watched them do everything. I didn't really know what they were doing, but I watched them. And I said, yeah, man, I think I like this. So on the way home, I called the wife and told her I found us a new hobby. So we went from there. That was in 2019. And I went to Georgia, picked up a trailer, one thing and another, scrounged up a smoker, and started cooking SCBA. So, and then cooked SCBA up until last year, when got with Josh and Mo and Alan Johnson, and started going with them to KCBS tournaments, and then we compete against each other in SCBA. But that's how I got hooked up with the Mafia, and that was a great ride for that. Well, I started with them in Greenwood last year. We won brisket and come in 11th, I think.
11th, I think it was. Yeah.
And Josh had done been diagnosed then, and so anyway, he said, "Man, stick with us." So every time the trailer hooked up to the truck, I was in there. So we had a good time. Good time.
All right, so kind of feeding off a little bit of what you were just kind of introducing. Y'all cook under the Hog Mafia, and there's a really passionate story to that. So tell us about the story, because y'all just got back from the Jack.
Right. Yeah.
So kind of tell us about the story of how you got to the opportunity to get the Jack draw, and then how and any experience with the Jack, and kind of go through some of that story a little bit.
All right, I'll take us up to the Jack, and then I'll let Mo tell about that. We left Greenwood, and the next stop was supposed to be Aiken. Well, they canceled that tournament, and Josh was, he was the driving force, and he said he called on the Monday or something, and he said, we cooking. I said, well, they canceled Aiken. He said, no, we're going to Huntsville, Alabama, Whistle Stop. And so I said, well, let's go. So we took off to Whistle Stop, and just Josh, he would go with us, and he'd meet us there. He'd go get him a hotel room. He wasn't feeling real good. He was doing chemo every other week. And on his good week, he was fine. On his bad weeks, he laid on the couch, or stayed in the room or whatever, but he was always there. And so went to Whistle Stop, and we had a decent cook, a lot of teams, a lot of great teams there. Brad was chasing his team of the year. He was there. Lee Hickle, let me see, all of them were there chasing. And we got a chicken call, which hardly ever happened. And we said, man, that's awesome to get a chicken call at Whistle Stop, and then we got a rib call, and then we got a pork call, and we said, man, this is crazy. And Brad had got three calls. And so when they started, we didn't get a brisket call, and he didn't either, I don't think. But when they started calling down the teams, we got down to top 5, and we were just hoping to be right there. Man, we got a good chance of being in the top 5. And then when it come down, and it was just between us and Brad, and they had already announced that reserve was over 700, and that we got a 180 in pork. I said, man, we got a chance. So anyway, we beat Brad by half a point or something to win Whistle Stop. And he was gracious, and he congratulated us. And I don't know if he knew exactly what was going on, but Josh was real. He hadn't been kind of feeling good, but that 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the award, when we got that chicken call, it was like he didn't have a pain in the world. He didn't.
You weren't going to hold him back.
No. And
awesome.
So anyway, I've made some stickers and I give out, and it's Josh pumping his fist when we won at Whistle Stop. So so he knew we got a Jack draw. Yep, that's it. That's it. So anyway, we on the way back, he called his doctor and left him a message and said, you got one job only, and that's to keep me alive until I see if we get to the Jack or not. But anyway, it worked out. I don't understand exactly how you get I know we was a South Carolina team, but we won in Alabama. So I don't know if we got drawn in Alabama or we got drawn in South Carolina. I don't know how that works. But anyway, we got drawn, and me and Mo and Alan was gonna go, but he got caught up. He couldn't go. But me and Mo said, we're going. We're going to do this. We're going to do this for Josh. I don't care if we come in last. But
we went to
anyway,
world out there.
We did it, and so I'll let Mo tell you about our experience. Luckily, had good travels and all that stuff. No problems at all. So, but Mo can tell you about the event.
Yeah, it really shocked. I mean, you mentioned the jack, and it's the greatest thing on the planet in barbecue. And you get down there and you look, and you go down in this little old hollow. There's a creek. You think, well, is this it? That was it. But that Thursday, I think it was, that it rained, and the water started accumulating rather rapidly. I thought, this might be getting fun here in a little while. But the weather held out, and it was nice. Got a couple of cool mornings, felt good. It's amazing how they get all those campers and trailers and all that set up down in that little old valley there. But the whole experience was just fantastic. The people you met some great people from Wyoming. Got with them on Facebook, and think I'm planning me a vacation to Wyoming here for too long. And then it was just, you get up under the tent, the jack tent down there at the presentation, and it's just, everybody's in there. It's big noise, and it's just a great party.
Make the hair stand up on your neck.
Oh yeah, it'll give you goosebumps.
Cold chills. Yeah. I didn't run but one box. It was the brisket box, and I'm telling you, I had cold chills from the time I left the trailer until I set the box down. It was just, I guess it was the emotion knowing that, this is where, it was kind of a Cinderella story anyway, and
it shouldn't have happened, but it did. I'm grateful. Yeah.
But we had a great time. We had a really good cook, we did. Everything turned out like we thought it would. We finished, I think, 12th in chicken, which that's amazing in that crowd.
Yes, it is.
And then middle of the pack, 40 in ribs.
That's about right.
And then brisket, I don't know what happened. The winner of our table was 63rd in brisket. So
Lord.
Yeah,
that was
DOD big time.
Yeah, so it was, I think, a table full of Texas judges looking for that 4-inch brisket, and we gave them 2 inches of pot roast and au jus,
It was definitely
Yes.
But anyway, that was, we got what we deserved, and that was awesome. I mean, the cream rose to the top. You can look at the top 10, and I mean, it works. How they got it, it usually works. We're the best team usually win most of the time, or either right there on the top. You just never know, like Joe Pierce. He didn't get a call, and he won brisket with a 180 and finished 5th. So,
that's crazy.
You have no call people finishing in the top 10.
Yeah.
And just have a consistent cook, and you got a chance.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat.
One thing you got to do, though, is keep reminding yourself that the other 82 teams there are champions themselves. So you're cooking with the best out there. I mean, they're just good people and great cooks. They're absolutely great cooks.
Well, I mean, everybody there earned their way into it.
Oh, yeah.
Either through winning the contest, getting a draw, or winning 7 and going to the contest. You have to earn your way and then be lucky and blessed enough to get drawn. That's truly amazing on there.
My wife, Melanie, she finished 16th in dessert, which we was proud of that. And
absolutely.
We did shrimp and grits for Chef's Choice. What was that? 20th, Mo?
20 or 21, somewhere in
Something
there.
like that. Yeah. So I mean, we were for the most part everything but brisket. Sauce, we was 18th. So we was up there on everything, but that brisket smoked us.
Well,
There's Casey. I seen she just chimed in. Her support and too. She checked on us. She called, checked on us every little bit, and she wanted to be there. Yeah, that'd be awesome, Waylon, if you got that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be unreal.
Yeah.
all right, so Waylon, Brian just kind of done the prelude conversation right here. So before we get in now into the win itself, give us the prelude of you getting a blessing.
So there was 8 or 10 of us went to Longhorns on Thursday night. We were there early Thursday afternoon. And so we were at a table, and I think Johnny Trigg knew Steve from Mad Dog Cookers.
Yep.
But he come by our table, and he pats me on the shoulder, and he wished everybody at the table good luck. And I let him walk off because he didn't know who I was from Adam. And he walked on off. I said, boys, y'all had it now. I said, the Godfather just blessed me. I'm winning the whole thing. They just looked at me like, bless his heart, you know. And then when it came true, Mr. Trigg was walking out right behind us, and I got to show him my banjo and told him the story, and he just laughed, and we got a good picture together. So that was nice meeting him. Yeah, he was great.
So I think I told you the story right there, because there, whenever you was telling him that, and I told you the story in front of him that in 2017 when we won Banjo BBQ, I was sitting right beside him. So him and his wife, and I had met him on some other times. Man, I was sitting beside him, and we're up there. We did not a very. I mean, we've been cooking a little while, but we wasn't necessarily never have been a heavy hitting team. So yeah, we had a call in ribs, and we had a 180 in brisket, and we sat down there and he started calling out names. He got like top 5. He said, "Son, you just won this contest." I said, "Ain't no way." And he was right. I jumped out of my chair, and man, it was crazy, but it was a blessing. And he is an awesome person to meet. I mean, it truly is. But getting blessed by the Godfather at the Banjo BBQ and you winning, it was just. It was an amazing conversation piece, and that's what it is, a conversation piece. And it's been really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool, and they were really nice.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They're
awesome people.
Great people, yeah.
He's been doing this a while, too. He's been a long time doing this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so tell us about your cook. I don't necessarily know the recipe. He's not trying to get into that, but
you got a box to show?
Uh-huh.
You got a box you can show?
Well, I'm on my phone, but
Doug said here, and Doug, you did pay me second place money. Yeah, that was kind of interesting conversation there. But I was happy with anything. That was a blessing. That is my favorite contest for multiple reasons. But Doug and his crew do an amazing job, and thank y'all for that. Seriously, thank all of y'all for that. Hats off to you on that.
Yeah, they really do.
Top notch. Totally love it. All right, Waylon, tell us about your cook. Did you think you had a really solid cook?
I did, and usually that I kind of got scared because everything went smooth, and when I really like it, it seems to not do as well. So I was still a little bit reserved, but we had a good cook last week in Lyons, and finished 3rd overall. But our chicken didn't do real well, so I decided to not change anything because we had been getting some calls in chicken. So I just rolled with what we had been doing, and felt really good about it. I did think the chicken was better, this week. Didn't know it was that much better. I think we ended up with a 176 in chicken, but not getting a call. So when you don't get a call, you're going, oh, well, here we go. Then I didn't get a rib call as well. I think we were 16th or 18th in rib. And then we had first place in pork and second in brisket. So I knew we had a shot at top 5 at that point. But, winning the overall, I had no clue until they started going down the list. So.
Yeah, that was really, truly just, I heard your name called and I was like, that's awesome. And just seeing somebody like yourself here that been trying and to win that contest and to get that and look on your face. And I've said this before. But if I ever get to the point where I win a contest and it's just another day at the ball game, I need to find another hobby. I don't care what contest it is. I want to go out there and win a contest and just be like ecstatic that I was blessed enough to win a contest. And seeing somebody like y'all did at Whistle Stop, like y'all did at Banjo BBQ, get calls and you remember every call you got that day, that's just something special. And ain't nobody take away from you on that. And that's awesome. Yeah. Totally amazing. But the Banjo BBQ is probably the coolest trophy, one of the coolest trophies in barbecue. It's such a unique trophy. And I say that with
oh wow, that is
that's it.
Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's awesome, man.
Hey, hold on a minute. Let me go get something.
I wish I could play it, but that's about all I can do with it.
Sounds like a winner to me.
So me and Mo and Justin, we just out. There's 2 banjos and we don't have one of them.
No.
You don't compare his?
No banjo for me.
There you go.
Cool.
Josh and I did the banjo in 2019. Oh, about the same.
Yep.
There's one trophy right here you will always cherish.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And it's hanging up in the den.
Trophy.
Michelle, come get this thing for I don't want to drop it. Sorry, here we got a little off track here. But
Better go put it back over the mantle, Jason.
Do what?
Put it back over the mantle.
Yep.
My wife won't let me hang mine in the living room yet, but I do have it on the stand.
Oh man, you just got to sit in the living room each night and just pick at it.
Shoot, I got back home Sunday about 5:30. At 5:45, that barrel top was leaning up against the fireplace. I left my stand in Kenny's trailer, so I got to get my stand. But it's going to be right here in the den.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's the cool thing about the Jack. One of the things is you can order a barrel head before you go.
Yeah.
And then everybody just kind of walks around and everybody signs it. And so you get to meet a lot of people that way.
Oh, yeah.
And so I tried to get everybody there. And it's awesome to walk up in a crowd with Brad Lonergan, Tim Shear, Bill Hine, who else? Chris Schaefer, talking about winning a tournament in the last 15 minutes. That's the crucial time.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty sweet when you especially somebody fairly new to it like me. I just, all follow those guys and to see them all there and signing your barrel top, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool. Doug just said that Banjo BBQ had 4 first-time teams win their first grands there.
Wow.
Including myself. And
wow.
It's been truly some awesome contest. Curious, they got a fiddle but no banjo.
Let's start a band.
Hey, I'd take a fiddle in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rick's got something about you supposed to show up at the tailgate and support some team named Dogs. I don't know who that is.
That's my brother-in-law. I've missed more Georgia games this year in my cooking barbecue than I have in the last 20 years.
Do you regret not making the games?
After this week, no, I don't. I've been to a bunch of them, so it's all good.
There you go.
Yeah, I give up my season tickets, and I had them during both times, but I started finding out I had more fun at barbecue competitions, meeting people and stuff, than I was tailgating. So we kind of let those go and started competing more.
Yep.
It's been
Yeah.
a heck of a ride on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's barbecue, like we've said earlier before the show here. It's a family like there's no other family out there. I mean, our family, our blood relationships, families is something dear to us. But the friendships we have out here for families and stuff, to have a barbecue friends and stuff, is something other that's truly amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Sure is.
It's a big
absolutely.
family reunion every time you see them. I mean, you just
Yeah.
renewing your family membership. It's,
Yep.
Sorry, guys, good Buckeyes.
Yeah, and just just like it's easy to meet people from anywhere. We was right beside a team from Wyoming. On the other side of them was California, and we just all had that one thing in common. We have a conversation before we ever meet. So
Yeah.
it's just you walk up and start talking barbecue, and then that leads to other things. And I mean, it was awesome. And then we was right beside McAdoo Heights too, which was good. They barbecue, real close barbecue family, and they had a great cook. So that was awesome.
We got Garza right here is talking about Aggies. I would pronounce first name, but I would totally screw it up, so I'm not going to try. Enrique. Okay. I'm glad y'all got it right. All right. So Carrie's asking, where's everybody cooking at next? I mean, Brian's asking, where's everybody's cooking at next? Sorry.
My next one's going to be in Camden, about I think November the 11th or something like that. Camden, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Still,
I'm headed to Shelby to cook the first day of a double, and then Atlanta Barbecue Classic, the big one in Cummins. That's going to be a great one.
Yep.
That's going to be a good contest.
Atlanta Barbecue Classic for me next month.
Sweet. That's an awesome contest.
I got
see me down there.
I got a chili contest this weekend. Then, because I can't read calendars correctly, I signed up for 2 contests on the same weekend, next weekend. So I convinced Noel to let me only come to Shelby on Sunday, and I'm doing that BBQ or whatever, SCBA, Friday, Saturday, leave immediately from there Saturday and drive up to Shelby for the second day of the Shelby extravaganza. And then I'm doing the Open at the KCBS event in Alabama, and then the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic the next weekend. That'll be the end of our season.
It's worth going to Shelby just to see the mariachi band with Lee Hickel.
Oh man, I hate them. We might make it there in time. It looks like that SCBA is over by like 3:00, and you better believe I'm going to be the first one to be leaving that parking lot. I'm going to do every dish as soon as I dirty it up. As soon as stuff's done, I'm loaded immediately into the truck. We're hitting the road, man. Hollis was like, "Daddy, why are we doing 2 contests in the same weekend?" I was like, "Because I'm a dum-dum and can't look at
prioritize."
Well, what happened is when they canceled Zombie Q, the guy, the SCBA guy, was like, "Yeah, you ought to come down here." I thought it was that weekend, and I was like, "Cool, we ain't got nothing going on that weekend. We got Shelby the next weekend." So I paid him, and it took me about 2 weeks, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what does that date say? That's the date of Shelby." And I was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" So
that Shelby usually ends up being pretty good because teams are chasing those points and stuff.
Yep.
Fergalicious, I talked to him out in Tennessee, and he's going to be in Shelby. He said they were a double in Oklahoma, I think, but he was just going to stay out this way and do that one. So it's chasing points and stuff. So it's usually pretty neat.
Chaser's dream that weekend.
Yeah.
I think he's also doing Royal Oak this weekend.
That's why he did that. He stayed to do that, and then he's just going to stick around and do Shelby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Urban got it locked up though, man.
I don't know.
That.
I think it's closer than you think. Hearing those guys talk this weekend.
Yeah, well, funnier things have happened.
Yeah. Any of them guys winning is, they chasing it hard this year.
Yeah,
We might just a shout out to Sid. We all cooked with Sid and him reserving up there. That was awesome.
Yeah, he was on here earlier, man. That was just such an amazing thing for him to come out there and go out there and do that. And he's cooking Royal Oak this weekend too. And it's just he's gotten hot.
Good guy. He cooked in Shelby last year. He cooked. I think he cooked beside us, didn't he, Mo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was definitely. This year is kind of a little different with the cost of meat and fuel costs have kind of changed some stuff for a lot of teams. But but back to your point here, I think he's got a good chance locking it up, but I'm not counting Joe Pierce out of anything.
No, it's going to come right down to the next weekend for sure. Like it'll be definitely decided that weekend.
He's got $9,000, so if he pulls out another $1,000, it's going to be pretty tough. If Urkel pulls out another GC, it's going to be tough. Yeah. Him get caught, but them guys kick a whole nother level than me.
Oh
yeah.
I love it. I love what they're doing, and I commend them for doing that. But the way they travel and stuff.
Oh, that's a grind for sure.
Yeah. What are they cooking? 40, 45 contests a year or something? It's every weekend, crazy. Right?
Well, Urkel went out and he got $2,000 in one weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's killing it right there. And not even at the same double either. Like he packed up and headed out on Saturday, went to something else and won that one.
Good golly.
There's them guys that start hitting like that, they found something that kind of just works.
Yep.
And when you find that little thing that works, we hit that in, I don't know what year it was, maybe 15 or 16. We hit pork that way. In fact, for the month of October, we were basically just winning every contest. But then turn around next year, we couldn't even buy a calling pork. So that's the thing about competition side of it is what y'all started on gravity smokers. And then gravity smokers went over to stick burners. Went the backwoods actually, and then they progressed over to stick burners. And then the cans come in the mix. And then now you see and stuff, a lot of the pellet smokers on the mix. The flow of different things that changes. It's just going to always be a changing game. And some of the guys doing the best right now is out there starting on the can and putting them in the cabinet smoker and just being able to just stay consistent. Ryan King's doing that at King's Barbecue, and he's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Old Colony used to do that out there. And you start doing that, them guys can be dangerous out there. I shouldn't say dangerous or anything, but they can go out there and win a contest easy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got like Rocky Top, they just show up, don't cook 6 months, do what everybody's behind. Throws that theory out the window. But anyhow, we've always said this here, we want people to do good and succeed at it because we love doing this crazy hobby.
But
it's definitely addictive.
It is, no doubt.
Gary drove 12 hours.
Is that Houston?
Yeah. That's a contest I want to go do one day out there.
Yeah. That'd be neat.
We're going to pull out Thursday and head to Arkansas.
Yeah.
And then we're doing Shelby.
You better get your meat early because brisket goes extinct those 2 weeks when people's getting ready because there's so many teams go out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be getting my meat here at the house and stuff. The days of me trimming at contests, SCBA, it's over.
Yeah.
I'll do it if I do a SCBA.
Yeah.
Man, that's my least favorite part. And you better get there early too, or you're gonna be digging through some boxes and there ain't much left.
Yeah.
That was hard for me to learn. What you mean you pick through the boxes?
Do they not allow you to trim beforehand?
No.
They provide
the meat.
They provide the meat, yeah.
Okay.
If they do a rib buy-in, if you want to do that, you can bring your own ribs, but they usually 9-10 people do a rib buy-in.
Gotcha.
Now, I will always give SCBA credit. If you want to become an established team and learn competition and learn pork, There's nothing out there that's going to compete with SCBA.
Yeah.
You can go out there and you can spend $200 enter a contest. They give you the meat, you cook a contest, and then you do pork. That's all you do. They give you a case of butts to cook all of them.
Yep.
So you'll learn pork.
Mhm.
You will learn every part of that butt for sure.
Yeah, you'll totally learn pork. From a best thing you ever done is that.
Well, that's like Malden. I mean, it was like $125 buy-in as a $2,500 first place.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they give you the meat and you win $2,500. So you're up basically $2,300 when you leave there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Not a bad day.
No, I mean, and so I mean, hats off to SCBA doing that.
Yeah.
And my biggest issue with SCBA is that aroma score.
Yeah. And overall.
That overall out there in the tag in, but dadgum.
Yeah, you can beat everybody in the other scores and come in like 10th and overall. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But
If they would go, and again, I'm not being critical of them, I appreciate what they're doing, but if they would just drop the aroma and overall, man, it would be it would, in my opinion, it would help level the field.
yeah.
A lot.
Because I think the overall really is something that an established team learns over time. They can tweak it for that. And that's just, we have a smell score in Houston.
Oh boy, you better get ready to go out there. Aroma.
Yeah. I reckon got there, you put some peppers on or something other.
Yeah, man. Squirt a pepper spray on it.
I used to kid them of trapping smoke in a plastic bag and then closing their box and pressing it into their box before they took it and turned it in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And that's aroma score. If you don't do good, it kills you.
It hurt.
Yeah, I melted the bottom of a styrofoam box one time trying to put hot vinegar sauce in the box. But that was a long time ago.
Philip Mason's podcast that I did where I told him to put it in a tray and put it in the smoker before he built his box. And he did it opposite. He built his box and then put the box in the smoker. And then I was like, wait a minute. And he said it was only in there like 5-10 seconds. And he opened up the door. You know, it was like his little microwave shelf. And he said the thing was, I mean, he could watch it shrink and he touched it and it just like melted around his hands. Like I said, it was probably like when you put cotton candy in water.
Yeah.
I laughed at first and I was like, damn it, that was my fault because I told him kind of to do that. Although that's not what I meant. I meant put it in a tray, then put it in the smoker, get some smoke on it, then build your box, you know. But so don't put your styrofoam box in the smoker.
No.
Yeah.
It gets an aroma, but it's not the right one.
It's probably the aroma you want.
Now, and I'll just say we pick on the SCBA for some of this, and we've made clear kind of stuff here. But again, I will say this every day from Sunday. What they do as far as helping teams become established and as far as helping new teams start and learn the competition,
No doubt.
there's nothing out there that can compete with them, in my opinion, in that ball game.
Yep.
Now, I can't speak about GBA because I've never done GBA.
Oh, it's
So
way different.
I can't speak. I've done some SBN contests. I think SBN is a little bit more in line with KCBS,
Mm-hmm.
but SCBA, I'll have to give them total hats off for what they do with helping teams get established. And it would probably be a little more kind of like the backyard side of it if I was familiar with the backyard side of it, but I didn't ever do that one. But I mean, what they do is just really cool. All right, so I got a question for everybody here. And we've kind of probably hit on a lot of this answer, but outside of the fellowship and stuff we have, what's the one thing that surprised y'all the most about Competition BBQ that you wouldn't have really known that coming into it? Once you got here, you're like, wow. I mean, Waylon, what would you say would be something that surprised you the most about competition?
Oh gosh. I mean, you said the fellowship. Obviously, the friends that I've made is the biggest one. But outside of that, just showing up with my 10x10 tent and seeing the 40-foot rigs the first time I was out there was probably the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one.
the intimidation factor on some of this new teams can be eye opening.
For sure.
David said he loves the SCBA. I do too.
Yeah.
Said I would do many more of them, but
I'd say for me it was not quite as secret as I thought it would be. I mean, at first 2 or 3 contests, but then when you get to talking to people and they figure out that you're just starting, you know, and they give you a tip here, you know, or a tip there. And most of the time it's just technique, not really a recipe or try to help you do something better, you know, but I thought it would be a lot more secret than what it is. But you've got guys out there running each other's recipes. I mean, just like on Brian's show last night, Chris said he was running Bill Hines' chicken recipe. You know, it's just, and that's the thing about with those classes and stuff like that. You know, you get some of that stuff, but it's not as secret as I thought it would be.
No, it's open. Anybody be glad to help you. You just got to ask, or just kind of hang around with them, meet them. One thing that really surprised me is the amount of detail that I would call a professional barbecue cook puts into a dessert or a box. It's these people take a lot of patience just to make a box. Get that kale or parsley. Just a lot of the women do it, and my hat is off to them because I dislike making boxes. Prepping chicken.
Prepping chicken sucks. Making boxes, I can make I've started using kale and just ripping the top of them off, throw them in the box, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
I tell you though, whenever I had one of the first judges cook with me, and this has been years ago, and they're sitting there and they haven't ever been cooked with a team to get their masters, and she was sitting and watching me do a pork box, and she would see me take a paper towel and wiping off every piece of meat, every piece of fat off of that pork, and put it in a separate au jus. And she looked at me, she says, "You do all this for a pork box?" I said, "Absolutely. My opinion, pork should be the first turn in, but it takes the absolute longest of any box to make there is."
That's the one I don't look forward to that one the least, you know, because like for me, one person, I got to hurry back and doing ribs. Okay. Chicken, you got plenty of time. Brisket don't take that long, but man, that pork, I got to come right in the trailer. I got to have everything out because it's literally going to take me that full 20 minutes to get that box ready and back out the door. And then the mess from it. And you got multiple pans of shit laying all over the place. There's fat all over, you know, and then you got to get ready for brisket after that. Yeah, I hate a pork box too.
Well, you got a fan here.
Jamie, I got a little history.
Yeah, I agree. Pork should be first. I mean, totally, 100%. So what Kerry is saying here, it used to be very secretive, and he is absolutely right. And we said that kind of early in the show here when I first started. SCBA, nobody was sharing nothing.
No.
KCBS, Donnie Bray was the first ones that I truly knew about was giving a barbecue class, and that was golly bum Kentucky team, Bowling Green, Kentucky. What's his team? What's Donnie Bray's team name, Michelle? What was Donnie Bray's team name?
Warren County Choppers.
Warren County Choppers. Sorry. Warren County Choppers was the first one put on a class, a true class that we knew about. And before I took his class, I was at a contest with him sitting beside him. And I walked over there to the new team, had been cooking 2 or 3 years. And I was asking him a question. I was like, I said, "What can I do to spice up my flavor of whatever?" He walks in his trailer, hands me a bottle of Smoking Guns Hot. He says, "Use this." And I was like, "Really?" I asked him to pay for it. He said, "No, it's yours. Keep it. I got plenty of them." And we ended up getting a call and I think ribs that day. But it was just crazy.
It's the little stuff. It's just the small things that just make that connection where you cutting membrane or pulling all the fat off with a towel or stuff like that. It's just the small stuff that gets you in there.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was most surprised at how many teams are out there. And where that really hit home was our first big pro KCBS contest was Jiggy with the Piggy, probably 2018, maybe 2017. And there were 90, I think it was 97 teams. And I mean, you know, that field, it was so stacked with like huge trailers and all this stuff. There were out there with tents too. And I was just like, I can't believe how many people are here cooking barbecue, man. This is nuts. And we're just in North Carolina, you know, thinking there's probably a couple other contests around the country the same weekend with this many teams at it. And that surprised me the most. Even going to some of the SCBA contests, I mean, there's been a pretty stacked field out there, though, you know, and we're in some small towns down there.
Darlington, man. Darlington used that contest at Darlington Racetrack, and that was a heck of a contest. That's the last probably the last SCBA done was a Darlington contest. And I remember showing up with my camper, and everybody looked at me like I was crazy. Nobody had nowhere to park with a dang camper, and I'm sitting there going like, if I go to some of these SCBA contests, I'm really gonna blow their minds. Y'all show me up. Y'all see me showing up some of these little small town contests with a 40-foot rig at SCBA contest.
Yeah,
that's Kenny now.
I'd be like, hey,
exactly.
Y'all got some power I can plug into?
Yeah.
They put you on the back alley. I can tell you that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
One of the first things that Josh and I, well, the very first contest Josh and I ever cooked, the 2 weeks before, I think it was, I came in last at a competition in Williamston, and Josh finished 23rd. He said, why don't we cook together? I said, why not? So the next one we did was a KCBS in Greenwood. And we get down there, there's 105 teams, and I'm looking at him, and I said, what in the hell have you got me into? And that's pretty much the way it stayed for the next 3.5 years.
It's definitely a learning curve. And like Kerry would just send me a picture of his box like 7 years ago. When we started this, I mean, I wouldn't try to find a box right now, but my first box I turned in was just a big pile of pulled barbecue. That was my first turn in box. And I'm sitting there thinking I should win the contest. And we finished 13th. Lucky didn't finish dead last.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was sitting there at the contest here. God, this was probably about 2 years ago. And a judge was cooking me, and I turned in money muscles and everything else. And they were sitting there eating the pulled barbecue. And he looked at me and says, why didn't you turn this in? I said, because I would never score good. He said, you need to turn this in. I'm sitting there going like, one day I'm going to do that. Turn in a big blob.
Just a big ball of it.
Big ball of pulled pork. Because sometimes it can't be worse than what I've been doing.
Me too, man. Pork's been my nemesis.
We won a table and got 16th or 17th weekend. Just scratch your head on that one. But
Jeez Louise.
Yes, I do hope KCBS goes to the seeding program. This chip draws annoying.
Yeah, they ought to handicap the tables like they do golf, you know. Everybody's the average score and make sure every table comes out with the same average. That'd be good.
I think the judges were great this weekend.
Waylon's like, y'all crazy. Crazy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Love it, Waylon. That's the way to have it. Love it. That's the way to stand up for it. Don't get me wrong. I agree wholeheartedly when I wanted to.
Yeah.
Judges were perfect that day.
Perfect. Nothing wrong with them. Awesome tables.
That's great.
Hey, man. Seriously. And I said this to you when you won a contest. Take that right yonder and remember it. Take every picture you can take of that and totally remember that because that's your first one. It'll be something that you'll always appreciate. And just thinking about there, I mean, you get that trophy and you're looking at all the people watching, you get that trophy on that stage, on that there. I mean, there ain't many contests you go to. You're going to look out there and see 30,000, 40,000 people watching you get a trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it felt good, and we all put a lot of heart. It's a great hobby, but we do all put a lot of hard work into it. Like Mo was saying, the detail and the effort that we put into just getting out there. People don't realize it. They think we're out there just drinking beer and camping all weekend, but it does take a lot of hard work. So to finally reach that goal was really, really good.
yeah, it was that.
Kerry just in Greenwood, we won that brisket. That's the first person I saw, and I hugged his neck because he showed us a lot of stuff on the brisket now.
Yeah, he said he had to try to teach Josh about brisket. Now, one thing we'll say out here, and we've been kind of alluding this to earlier here, if anybody wants to come out and come to the contest, everybody out here is going to help you.
Yes.
They're going to teach you, show you different things, whatever. Might not tell you the exact recipe. They're going to help you because we want new people coming to the sport, the hobby, whatever you want to call it, and cook barbecue because we want it to grow. So come out there and see us. Don't let the 40-foot rigs intimidate you because everybody's cooking on the same thing. I mean, we're all cooking on the smokers out there and trying to make this one piece of meat do magic. So talk to us. Come out there and do it. From Saturdays from 10 to about 1:30. That might not be the time to talk to us, but anytime before that and after that, we'll be happy to tell you everything because I've said this many times, but the thing is, I want you to turn in good food so that you can help the table score better.
Yes.
I don't want you to turn in bad food and kill the table, and then of course nobody got a chance. So that's why we'll help you every way we can to do that. And I think that's why barbecue has become less secretive over the years, is because we want new people to do better and to grow and do the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But
just like Kerry Chastain does. I mean, he'll show you his box. He'll show you what rubs and spices he uses, but he's not going to cook it for you.
it's a tearing game.
Yep.
All right. So, Waylon, you got any sponsors? Anybody you want to shout out to?
Well, I'm looking for some more, but I do have my good friend Jay McBride out of Florida. He has a sauce company called Butts on the Barbie. He supplies me with my barbecue sauce. You can find him at buttsonthebarbie.com. Jay's a great guy.
That's awesome. Mo?
Well,
Kenny?
all my hat's off to Atlanta Barbecue Company.
Yeah.
They're there. They're the real deal when it comes to customer service and helping you out. They get it done, and
How you do that? There you go.
there it is. Fresh, Blues Hog, Heath Riles, even the knives, Mad Cow Cutlery. I love their knives.
Yeah.
They got some good stuff.
Yeah, and Brian and Ellen stepped up with Josh too. So
That was unreal.
man, that was awesome. I mean, they are truly a giving family. That this ABS they're doing is a foundation. The Jarvis Foundation. Everything that they make off of that's going to their foundation, and also their classes. When they do their classes in January, all those proceeds go to their foundation. So, and they stepped up with Josh. I was firsthand witness of that.
Yes,
so,
sir.
It was awesome.
They did amazing things with that.
They're good for barbecue for sure.
Absolutely. They're good people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Top notch people.
Yep.
Awesome sponsor for us. Justin, you got anybody you want to reach out, holler out to you?
Yeah. Dead Bird Barbecue, DB180 helped us out a lot this year. Steak Princess Barbecue. That's our combo for steak. We've hit really good this year on steak and using all that stuff on the barbecue side as well. Local honey company has taken care of us for the last 2 years, Herb's Honey. They're great. Just tonight put in my B&B application for Team B&B next year. Not sponsored, but still love and stand by their products. Even if I don't get on the team, that's the only stuff that goes in my smoker and my grill. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to mine here, Atlanta Barbecue Store. I thank you for what y'all do for all of us, for me in particular. Royal Oak. Sorry, Justin. It's the best charcoal on the market.
That's good. What do you think?
Rufus Teague and Mom Rectech. Great people, awesome products and stuff. So we thank them for what they do for us. And again, y'all come out and see this contest. Come out and shake our hand. Let us know what you got. Any questions, we'll help you all we can. And this right here is one heck of a group of people. So thank y'all for watching.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all. Enjoyed it.
Thank y'all.
See you.
Bye.